We have three gentlemen who are here to speak to us this morning, and they're going to participate in an event of which we have them wired up for sound for this. They are alumni of the Philadelphia Flyers, names that you know very, very well. Please welcome Danny Briere, Scott Hartnell, and Brad Marsh to the show. Get yourselves settled in, gentlemen. Yeah, there you go.
Yo.
So, Scott, you see the guy over there with the Phillies face paint and all that stuff? On day one, he had Flyers face paint. He's been doing a different team
flip-flopping
every day since he got here. And we have yet to see Eagles. That's probably tomorrow, I guess. Because he had the Union yesterday, day before that, Sixers. No, you were Sixers on the first day, then the Flyers, and then the Union, today the Phillies. I would imagine tomorrow will be the Eagles.
And he was at the Flyers game on Tuesday night and kept showing up on the Jumbotron because he looks great. It was really perfect for the camera.
When you see somebody like that in the crowd when you were playing, would you guys talk about that on the bench at all? I mean, look at that dude in the face paint at all. I mean, do you guys have to have conversations about stuff that's other than the game going on, right, Danny?
Sometimes there's guys that would stick out a little bit more than others. That's a good example.
Right.
And at home, you'd love it, right? But then you go to Pittsburgh and there's a guy dressed up like a penguin. I'm like, what an idiot that guy is.
Look at this douchebag.
And when you're dressed up in your Flyers colors, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. I also love you guys and your relationship with the team. I think the Flyers have such a strong alumni representation.
Yeah.
With the ambassadors and the different roles that everybody's playing. And Scotty, now you're doing sports on NBC Sports Philly. You've taken it to the desk there. Brad, what is your relationship with the team? Because everybody kind of holds this title with the team now.
I'm president of the Flyers alumni, so I oversee all the old guys.
Oh, really?
All the old guys. And so it's nice to be out with these two guys on my left and right because they're a little younger. When it gets to be Joe Watson, it's tough to keep him in line, you know?
There's got to be something, though, to being around ice because even the older Flyers still look freaking young. Like it's like a cryogenic thing going on. You guys all look great.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I just want to avoid Joe from having to shake his hand because he nearly breaks your damn fingers when he grabs a hold of you.
Hi, Joe Watson.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, he's got a vice grip.
Between him and the Hound, I mean, we got the best alumni around, you know.
Well, it's hilarious when we have alumni games and Joe Watson plays. He still thinks it's the Stanley Cup Finals from '74 and '70. Like there's no losing in alumni hockey. He'll give you heck next Monday night if you're not back checking. You'll hear from Joe Watson.
I'm going to be cherry picking. That's what I'm doing.
Well, you'll hear about him.
Yeah.
You'll hear about it.
So a lot of alumni in the game. It's on the 15th, right? And like Eric Lindros is coming down, I believe. And the three of you guys are going to be a part of it. Scotty Upshaw is going to be there as well. Who else is going to be making an appearance for the alumni game?
Well, Rick Dockett.
Right. Yeah.
Big name.
That's the whole incentive for it. It's Talk and Holmgren, right?
I got my first Flyers game. It was a Flyers-Capitals playoff game. Rick Tocchet and Neil Sheehy got into a fight, and I was at the glass. I was in 8th grade, and it's when the games were on Prism, and so we found the video. You can see me banging against the glass as this, chubby little 13-year-old kid. But, at one point, you see Tocchet just nail Neil right in the middle of the face with a fist, and you see Neil's face like, oh! It was just
glorious, right?
It was glorious. It was absolutely
That's
glorious.
hockey for you, yeah.
Speaking of tough guys, Donald Brashear's coming down.
Yikes.
Wow. Cool. It's his first time coming to a Flyer alumni event. He's very, very excited about it. So we got a lot of toughness. It's an alumni game. We got a lot of Dave Brown, Brashear, and Scotty. It's going to be
Danny Briere.
Talking about toughness.
No, Brashear he was one of the scariest looking guys I've ever seen to play that game. I mean, just as far as an intimidating, imposing individual, you know?
Riley Cote, who's fought him many times.
Yeah, Riley Cote. They're scary in warm-up.
Right?
Yeah.
See some old-time, like Dave Brown used to just patrol. Everyone's seen a warm-up, and you usually skate from your red line into behind your net to get ready. Brownie would just skate between the blue line and the red line, and the whole time he was just looking at the other team.
Yeah.
And if you're on the other team, you dare not make eye contact. Because he had you then.
Right.
Yeah.
My last alumni game, I got to play between Fridge, Todd Federick, and Dave Brown. So we were playing the Flyers Warriors, and there's some guys there that wanted to test us a little bit. And I felt like the toughest guy on the ice.
That's nice, man. Brad, were you the last Flyer to play without a helmet? Is that part of your one of your bits of trivia? No?
Actually, Craig McTavish was the last Flyer, and he was the last player in the NHL not to wear a helmet. And a side note to that, Craigie McTavish and I grew up together in London, Ontario. We played on the same minor hockey team, Southwest London Bobcats, growing up. So it must have been something in the water that we didn't wear the helmet. So
yeah. What do you when you look back at that and think of how you guys played less protected back in the day? What crosses your mind?
Well, I don't know. You got to understand, when I broke in the league in the 70s, nobody wore a helmet.
Yeah.
And the odd player that did wear a helmet, they were referred to as a chicken bleat.
Yeah,
right.
And so when I made the NHL, I wanted to be like my idols that I watched on TV. You know, the Tim Hortons and the Bobby Bonds and Alan Stanley, names that I know none of you guys have ever heard, but I wanted to be like them. So I didn't wear a helmet when I played. When I look back now, I understand the helmet's got to be worn now, but it was a different game back in the 70s.
It's staggering, again, to see the speed at which, again, I'm always stunned at your ability to process everything that's going on when you're out of the game, whether you're on the field for baseball or whatever, any sport, but it's particularly hockey, which moves so fast, to process everything as it's going on. And I think that is, unless you've been down at ice level as a spectator and have seen, remember years ago they tried to add the glowing puck so that there's just no way. There's no way to capture the speed of it.
No, they could have used that in like the 80s when the televisions and everything
couldn't
sucked.
Process.
But now that we have HD, you don't need that. I wanted to ask you guys, did any of you or all of you happen to see the Netflix documentary about the Danbury Trashers? And are you guys aware?
I saw parts of it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch it.
Were you aware of it as it was actually happening in real time?
So real quick, that's I was thinking that was the one that was about the Slapshot team, but that's not it. This is about a minor league team or an independent team.
No, it was like a minor league team that basically modeled themselves basically after Slapshot, and the Broad Street Bullies and all of that. And then it had happened as there was the NHL lockout, and so they actually were able to get
Mike Rupp. Mike Rupp, who had just won a Stanley Cup with the New Jersey Devils, was out of work. And so he ended up playing with his team. And they were like
and
mafia.
Frank Bialowas.
Yeah, right. The animal.
Oh, my God.
But there were these mafia ties attached to it. Casey turned me on to this documentary. Any hockey fan should watch it. But it's just wild. It's one series of weird events after another.
And were you guys aware of it as it was happening, or okay?
No, I have no clue.
Me neither. Me neither.
I think congratulations is in order for you guys. On Thursday, you guys got inducted to the National Radio Hall of Fame.
That's correct, sir. Yes.
Thank
you. Thank you.
That's pretty neat.
It was. It's still, Preston, what you're saying, and I think for everybody, because this was right before this event, we still haven't processed it.
Yeah.
But once you were there, like I assume it's the same way when you guys are around people who inspired you. We were at this event, and we're around a whole bunch of legends. And it's like, what the hell are we doing here? But it was
we just
cool.
screw around all morning.
Yeah, totally. That's what we do. Absolutely. But Tocchet, was he the most recent inducted into the Flyers Hall of Fame?
Him and Paul Holmgren this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you guys think about that? About yourselves and someday being a nominated into illustrious company like that?
Well, go ahead, Danny.
He thinks
I didn't
about
want to
it.
go straight to Danny.
You don't really think about that. I'm sure it was the same thing with you guys.
Yeah, we had no
If
idea.
it happens, it happens. But that's not, on a day-to-day basis. You just kind of go about your business and do what you're supposed to.
No, that's true, because the award you get is this, that you have this, so that you were able to play a game that you loved and worked hard at it. That's the award, and then everything else is icing. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, so the alumni game is coming up on the 15th, and Nick had said this will be at the Wells Fargo Center, and you can pick up the tickets at wellsfargocenterphilly.com. Danny, are you part of the handling the operation of that, or am I wrong about that?
About what?
The alumni game.
The alumni? No, not about the alumni game.
Okay.
That's Brad's department.
Okay, I
Brian
gotcha.
Marsh department.
And so it's the Flyers Wives charity that's benefit, correct?
Flyers Charities and Flyers Alumni Charities.
Flyers Alumni Charities.
And I'm sorry, how do you guys pick the teams?
Throw a bunch of sticks in the middle.
Process of doing picking the teams right now, and so we got everyone coming in, and now we're going to divide the teams up. We're going to put it out next Monday, I believe, and let the fans have a little fun with it. Who should be on whose team? The big question: should we finally split up Lindros and LeClaire, or keep them together?
Who's going to be in net?
Yeah. So, but it's going to be a great night for those of you that saw the outdoor alumni game back in 2012 at the baseball stadium, and then of course we had an alumni game for the 50th anniversary of the Flyers, and it's just a great atmosphere for all the old-time Flyer hockey fans.
Yeah, there's so much fun. The one at the ballpark was just a great time right in advance of the Winter Classic. And it's, it was amazing to me to see Bernie Perrant make saves in the ballpark and hear the fans go nuts for Bernie making an alumni game, a practice game, an exhibition, and they still went crazy for it.
Yeah, and, well, if you remember, he stopped Ron Duguay on a breakaway.
I remember.
And we were all sitting on the bench, and, he's from New York. He loves Broadway. He loves the limelight. We're all thinking, okay, this hot dog's going to score. And he went and he shot it right in the breadbasket of Bernie. And the place went nuts. And so I was back talking to Bernie after he made the big save on Duguay. And he says to me, he says, Marsh, you ain't going to get any better than that. I'm done. so he left the net. And I said, Bernie, where are you going? And he says, I'm done. And I said, you at least got to do a lap around the rink and wave to everybody. So he did one lap. He waved. He went and got showered. And he came out and coached the rest of the game.
That's great.
Well, you know when you've hit your peak, right?
That's right, yeah.
So who's in net for this game? Casey was going to ask that. Who's in net?
We got Robert Ashe and Neil Little.
Okay.
And we have Mike McKenna coming in from St. Louis to play. So the goaltending position's the hardest one to fill in alumni hockey because they're crazy enough to stop 100-mile-an-hour shots when they played. Who the heck wants to stop them when they're 50, 55 years old? Because we still try to shoot the puck the same way, high and hard, and
yeah.
Well, from what you guys are saying, this is you don't ratchet it back that much. You still get that competitive urge kicking in, and you're playing real hockey.
Yeah, and put Danny on the line with Fedoruk and Riley Cote, and you'll be.
I'll feel great.
You'll be 6 foot tall.
And
Nice.
I think, Preston, we're going to have some tickets to give away as well.
I'm reading this actually right now.
Okay.
This was just handed to me, so we can actually give away some tickets. And
Nice.
we'll take, let's take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. We'll give away tickets to the game, which is Monday, November 15th, 7 p.m. at the Wells Fargo Center. And it's Team Toggett and Team Holmgren, and we'll set you up if you give us a call right now. So we'll make sure we do that. Now, we are going to have a competition right here. It has nothing to do with hockey at all, but it's going to be Team Marsh against Team Hartnell. Woo! Yes. And we have actual teams. We have our listeners that are set up. We're going to do a game. It's called Red versus Blue. And I'll explain what's happening in just a little bit. We're going to send these guys outside. They're going to go on to the Pharaoh's Fury amusement ride that we have. It's one of those giant boats that rocks back and forth. And we'll tell you exactly what they're going to be doing in just a moment. So we'll have you guys head out there, and we'll talk to you in just a second.
Before we go out, I'm not sure if we're coming back in, but to say anything on the mics, but on behalf of the Flyers Alumni Association, we'd like to make a donation to your Camp Out for Hunger in the amount of $2,500.
All right.
Thank you, sir. That's
We got
fantastic.
the real check here.
Thank you so much.
None of those ceremonial ones. We bring the real money.
I appreciate that. The real deal. I'll take it from you, Brad. You can leave it in the envelope.
Really
There we
big
go.
check.
Yes.
Really big
It's a
check.
briefcase full of cash.
Standard check.
So thanks very
size.
much for all you guys do. It's great.
Thank you.
Likewise.
And good luck out there. We'll have you guys. We'll send you out Danny Briere, ladies and gentlemen, Brad Marsh, Scott Hartnell. They are headed out into our parking lot. Okay, now we're about to head outdoors for a head-to-head face-off that we are going to try. It's a contest we're calling Red versus Blue, and I'll explain exactly why that is. It's going to be Team Marsh against Team Hartnell. We have Brad Marsh and Scotty Hartnell being observed by Danny Briere
Yes,
for this
he
event.
is known as I think that was his nickname, and he was playing right, the Observer.
He was the observer. he just said he didn't want to do it, Scott. All right, so here's what You are the sucker.
That was your name, the sucker.
So here's what we're doing. I will explain to everyone. We have a ride that's called Pharaoh's Fury. It's one of those ships that rocks back and forth. And listen, Casey and I were riding the other day. It goes a lot steeper than it looks. When you're on the ride, you're a little freaked out on how high up and how steep you are in this. Now, we have outfitted a Team Red and a Team Blue. Scott, what team are you on?
I am Team Red.
All right, Team Red. And Brad Marsh is Scott Blue, or is Team Blue. And here's why we've named it that. Each person that's sitting, and we have the entire thing filled. Marissa, can you hear me? I didn't know Marissa had a mic.
She's in the doorway right there.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Throw up to my right. Oh, I'm sorry.
The 10.
Yes.
All right.
Scott is Team Red. Marsh is Team Blue. Scott already started. He was doing his whole chant down from the bottom. He was getting the crowd revved up. We have 14 people on each side.
Thank you.
All holding two 22-ounce cups full of Gatorade.
All right, so Team Red obviously has red Gatorade, 22-ounce cups, so 44 ounces per person, and Team Blue is holding blue Gatorade. Now, the object of this is we're going to activate the ride. It's going to go back and forth. You try to keep as much liquid inside of that cup as you can, and we've also outfitted everyone with their own all-white jumpsuit that they're wearing.
So
it's
this-
kind of like Squid Games.
Yes, and at the end, Preston, it should resemble a Jackson Pollock painting.
Exactly. And when they are done, each team is going to come into the tent here, and they're going to pour out their liquid into these containers that we have in front of us. Whichever team has the most amount of liquid in the containers will be deemed our winners.
So that is the object, to retain the liquid in the cup and come in here, and we'll see who wins.
I'm very curious as to how Brad Marsh is currently feeling, because he was not jazzed about doing this ride. Brad, how you feeling?
Brad, can you hear us? Brad cannot hear us.
Okay.
While we fix Brad's equipment, I'm going to get a scouting report from our referee, Danny Briere. Danny, which team do you think has the upper hand in this?
I'm thinking red.
Red.
Yeah, Red.
Wow.
Thanks, Liney.
That's Scotty's team.
That's my old Liney.
Hey, Brad, can you hear us now?
We haven't gotten to it yet.
All
Okay,
right,
we
no
haven't
problem.
gotten to that yet because I want to make sure that he can before we get this whole thing started.
So I have to thank the team at Skelly's Amusements. They actually put people on evenly. So they, put a medium-sized person and a medium-sized person, guys and girls. So they did the best to make sure that these teams were as even as possible. How you guys feeling up there?
Oh, it just came on.
Cold.
Yeah, that was really exciting. Scott, maybe you can lead him in a better chant than that.
All right. Let's go Red. Let's go Red.
That was great.
I love it. I love it. They just wanted us to get it started because it's cold out there and it's breezy. Brad, I heard him say it just went out again. Brad, can you hear me?
I can now. Yep.
Excellent. All right, Brad, how you feeling on your side of the ride?
I'm feeling confident. I feel confident in Team Blue.
Okay, Team Blue.
Yeah, Team Blue, all the way.
Now, Brad, I heard you might actually have an advantage because of motion sickness. You might actually vomit and add more liquid to this.
Well, that's a nice thought. I'll lean to my left.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I think we're ready to get this started. And by the way, this is all on YouTube. You can stream this live right now. We have video that's being supplied. Newman University is handling that. So I think Team Red, are you ready?
Ready.
Team Blue, are you ready?
We are ready.
All right, Marissa, when they're ready, let's get Red versus Blue
All right.
fired up and started.
A strategy is just keep it in. All right, I'm getting a thumbs up from Skelly's. You guys get it started as soon as it's ready.
And we're going to hear the audio from both Brad and Scott because
All right,
the mics
it's
are live.
moving.
All right, here we go. And they have to keep it balanced and keep the liquid in the cups.
That first slow sway, no spills yet. Everyone's been good. Remember, no cursing up there, guys.
Okay, my bad.
You got it, Marissa. You got it.
I'll tell you.
I know one thing. Team Blue is going to be Team Red after this.
It all flies to the other side.
There is not a single not a single drop spilled yet, guys.
Yeah, everyone seems to be holding it pretty well.
This isn't fun. Nothing. Not a single drop.
That's fantastic.
So
They're good, man.
I did drop one little button.
Their hands are
Oh,
going
darn
up
it.
in the air.
Oh, darn it. Oh, darn it. Oh, darn it.
Get high.
Whoa!
This is the part that you start feeling a little nauseous. Really high.
Okay. Whoa!
I think Brad wants it to be over.
Desperately.
This is the equivalent equivalent of the teacups for all these people right now.
All right, and it looks like it is slowing down indeed, but they held on a little bit better than I thought would happen.
know.
Very well.
There is some spillage, but those cups, for the most part, seem to be full, but it's still going. And
It's coming to an end now. It's doing its final descent.
I love it.
Yeah, right. You're setting us up.
All right, so still, there's a lot of liquid to be measured, and
Right.
we'll see. Scott, do you have any spillage on you?
I do. I have a couple milliliters.
Okay,
Couple
so
milliliters.
make sure that as you come in and you don't want to lose any liquid just walking in, that'd be a waste.
Hey, Brad, how did you do with your cups?
I did pretty darn good, I think.
Okay.
I got
He's
one
thirsty.
drop.
He drank half it, but
I got one drop.
Wow.
Not thirsty.
I'm wondering if we need to pick 6 people from each team and throw them on the can drop.
Oh, and hold their cups going down that?
Right,
We can do
right.
that easily.
Yeah,
All right, but we still have to measure this and find out which team came out ahead.
Guys, I don't think our containers are big enough for all the liquids that's coming back.
All
Oh, my
right, well,
God.
listen.
Do we put some people on the can drop in between?
Well, do you want to do that?
I'm just saying, like, these. I know. I bought.
Well,
what?
we have to stick to the original rules, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we got to
Right.
stick to the
And
original
we-
rules.
if we do this now,
But we could have a playoff.
We could have a playoff, but
Yeah.
I think Marissa's right because we were watching and everyone seemed to retain their liquid level pretty nicely.
Yeah, we have to worry about the competition committee coming in and
Yes.
shutting this down.
We will we'll lose our international license.
If you were to use physics, okay, if you
Right.
were to hold the cup with just 2 fingers like this onto the brim,
Like a pendulum.
it would rock back and forth,
Yes.
and by physics, it would all stay in. I don't know if that's centrifugal or centripetal force, but either one of those, it would keep everything in there. So maybe they were
It's exculpatory.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
I remember last time we did this with the coffee, and whoever
Yeah.
won, it was all over them.
There's Jilly and Millie.
What-
and Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had coffee all over you.
Yeah, it was a total disaster.
Yep. All right. So
right,
we're going to
Jimmy.
have them all march into here and start to pour the liquids out into the containers that we have in front of us. And after all the liquid is poured out, we will measure them and we will see which team comes out victorious. And that team will walk away with no prize whatsoever because we don't have anything to give away. But we will find out who gets bragging rights of
Look
red
at
versus
them.
blue. Here
Look at
comes
them.
Scott Hartnell,
Spotless.
captain of Team Red. Let's go. I'm going to pour that into the red container, Scott. And yeah, Marissa's right. We'll have to see if this is overflowing or not. He's making sure that every single drop
All right, there we
gets
go.
in there.
Wow.
And we have 14 people that are going to be pouring all of this wonderful Gatorade, red and blue. Blues, you can step up and go too. Go ahead.
Preston,
Yep.
I'm not seeing a lot of spill on the uniform.
No, they did
These guys
great.
are pros.
We got a little bit on this guy right here. He was pointing that out to us. But it might run off. I haven't checked out that material to see if it's absorbent at all or not on those jumpsuits. It may just run right off of them.
All right.
Preston, let me, while you're mentioning those jumpsuits, thank Ferguson Supplies. They gave them to us a bunch of years ago for our gender reveal.
Yes.
When we covered everybody. And thanks, because they came in handy.
By
That's
the way,
right.
does anybody want to do any gender revealing right now?
Yeah, we could. We have red and blue.
Yeah, we
right?
could do that.
The red could go for pink.
We really should use jumpsuits for every contest we do ever. 'cause
It's the
they,
best.
they look fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, it's
yeah.
Danny Briere here. I was really impressed with the hands, the steady hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
I mean, you were known to have great hands.
Well, we
so-
might have some alumni possibilities here.
You're right.
Really?
We're
So,
short some players.
some rookies potential. All right, very cool. Sorry, so
All right, the final contestants are coming in. We have a couple of red, one more blue coming off, 2 more blues coming off.
guys,
my
make
goodness.
sure you get every drop out because I think this is going to be a contest decided by drops.
Yeah, this is really close. Right
neck
now,
and neck.
blues got the edge, but there's more reds that have to.
Yeah,
I see
there we
more
go.
Reds and blues that are filling up the container.
Wow.
And this is going to be a close one, and we might indeed have to have a playoff on the can drop ride.
All right.
People are making sure they get every last drop.
No, they
in the
need to.
bucket.
Kathy, look at how close it is.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody's.
Right now, red is in the lead, but we still have some blues that have to step up.
Yep. And there's still 1, 2, 3
Ooh, I
people
don't
with
know.
reds. 3 people with blues. This could be. And the one time we did this, we had a tie as well. If you remember, we ended up having to do this twice.
By the way, I can't even look at Gatorade without thinking of colonoscopy prep, Preston.
It is the preferred beverage
Yeah.
when you're getting a colonoscopy.
All right, look at this, Preston. It is neck and neck.
Oh my
Who
goodness.
is going to be our official judge when we finally have the last drop in there?
Danny Briere, I think, right? Because he's impartial.
Yeah.
And wait a
think
minute.
we need a judge.
Yeah. Where's Danny? Danny, where are you?
Right here.
Right behind
by
the
the bucket.
We need you to take us up. Anything left? All right, Danny, what's it going to be?
Everybody's in?
Yep.
Yeah, I had called the red.
Red!
Team Red.
good. Actually,
Hartnell.
I don't think I've lost the last couple of years.
Nice. Stands victorious and remains our champion.
to be honest, what I was not seeing a lot of spillage, but this is actually fairly decisive.
Yeah, that's there must have been more than we had anticipated, more than we had seen.
The question is, where the hell did it go?
Yeah, it's
did anybody drink their Gatorade?
Marshy was thirsty.
It had to be. It had to be. Yeah, some Gatorade evaporated.
Yeah, look at that. All right, well, you guys are good sports. Thank you so much for participating in that, and nobody got as messy as we thought they would, so that's a bonus, too, because you don't have to go out here with socks that are soaked in Gatorade.
We were going to use raw sewage initially, but we passed on that.
Next time we'll do that,
yes.
for sure. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Scott Hartnell, Brad Marsh, Danny Briere, Flyers alumni on the 15th, and thank you all listeners for participating.